Hey Farm Fam, it's Todd from Headwaters Homestead. Welcome to the basement. Today I'm going to do something I thought I'd never do, but we are actually going to do Headwaters Homestead's first unboxing video. Give you a little bit of background about what we have here today. Christine and I have been talking about really structuring the landscape around our house, thinking more about permaculture, and in doing so we decided that we are going to actually take away one of our flower beds right outside the front door, and we're going to transfer that over into an herb garden. What we're ultimately planning on doing is making it kind of a rock garden with raised beds. Christine and I are both big fans of what we've seen from Vigo Gardens. I myself like the raised tartar containers, but the price point can be a little high on some of those. So we saw this ad on Amazon for these limited time $34 galvanized raised beds. Now these are made by Prem Kid, but what we're going to do today is actually open these up. We're going to put one together and we're going to see how it stands up against some of its rivals like Vigo Garden Beds and those tartar ones that I'm fond of. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we'll tear into one. I actually ordered two at that price, figuring that even if they weren't suitable for what we had planned, we could use them somewhere else. So regardless of how they hold up, they're going to end up somewhere on our homestead, producing some type of food for us in that herb garden right outside the front door. That's going to be ideal. So with that said, let's go ahead and tear into the first one here and see what we have. I was surprised how lightweight they were when they came from Amazon. Oh yeah, I forgot. These actually also come with a small set of garden hand tools, including your basic little trowel, another narrower trowel, and a little hand cultivator. They've all got rubberized handles. I don't know how well they'll hold up or for how long, but we can definitely use these around the house. Also with the tiny pair of gloves that are more suited to my kids' hands than to my own. We'll just throw those off to the side. It's also got a small package of plant markers. Those are always going to come in handy. So we're going to throw those over off with our seeds to the side. All right, so we've got some galvanized sheets and our crossbars that are intended to give it extra support down the center. These must be the middle panels. There's about 4 of them here. It's a fairly thin gauge steel, but given the size of them, that they're only going to be about a foot tall, they seem rigid enough that they'll hold up. These are our ends, our corners. They're going to wrap around so we can make them in a rectangular shape, or we could make them square depending on what we want to do. These ones are definitely going to be rectangular given the space that we're putting them in. They'll be about 4 foot long, 2 foot wide, and a foot tall. All right, and lastly in the box, we got a single sheet of instructions for assembly. and of course the assorted nuts and bolts that we'll be using to put this together. Pretty simple and efficient packaging. Everything fits in a relatively small box. Those two boxes came together in a larger Amazon box for our delivery. All right, well, now that we've got all these pieces out, let's take a look and figure out how to throw this together. All right, so again, we're going with the rectangular, or what they're calling oval, orientation of the kit as we put it together here. So what we're going to do is start with the sides. So of these four, we're going to take two sheets, overlap them so the holes line up, and then start inserting our nuts and bolts to hold them together. Now they send a handy dandy tool to do this with. It's a standard Phillips on one end, and it's a hex head on the other. But we're going to cheat and make it a little easier. This is a 10mm socket. That's going to work to hold that nut in place. And we're going to use a power drill to speed up the process. There is also a support beam that goes across with a hole in the middle so the two pieces can be connected together. So we're going to make sure that we put that on the lower half of the assembly as we put it together. Let's get about 4 of these. We'll get 4 corresponding nuts. That we'll simply hand tighten down. Don't forget our cross member. Tighten that one down as well. All right, that's our first side together. Go ahead and set these tools off to the side. Now they say these are going to be 4 foot in length. I guess there is a little bit longer sheet there in the curvature, but it's going to be just 4 feet, barely. And tighten these ones down as well. There doesn't appear to be a top or a bottom. The edges are rolled over, so there's not sharp edges on either side. That'll be nice. We don't have to worry about paying attention to which way that cross support is positioned in there. All we have to do is put the two sides together and then line those up across the way. There's that one. And let's get our last piece in here. With our other cross support. right, as far as finger tightening those in, that all went pretty well, pretty easy. We can go back and tighten those up here in a minute. Next, we're going to go ahead and put together our two end pieces for each side. That'll complete the oval. It's going to be the same process here, although made a little bit easier since it does stand itself up. Now again, I am just going to do finger tight on all of these just to get them in place. Though I got to say that the assembly on these is ridiculously easy. I've never actually assembled a Vigo bed, so I can't speak to how sturdy the steel is on those. But I can say that these are a decent grade, that even just with these two pieces finger tight together, it's fairly substantial and sturdy. I think these are going to work just fine for what we had in mind. I might go back and look online again to see if possibly we could even get some more of these. Like I said, it was a limited time offer when we first got them. I don't know what they currently are priced on Amazon. But I'll go back and look before we wrap this video up so I can share that too. Hopefully they gave us extra nuts and bolts. Otherwise I'm going to be down on my hands and knees trying to figure out where that one went. Last one for the ends. All right, those are all finger tight. They all lined up nicely. Our next step then is to assemble those side pieces onto it. It's going to be just a little bit wider than the available table space we have here, but I think we'll make do. Afraid that last one there wasn't going to line up right. but it was an optical illusion. It went in there just fine. Get that one finger tight. Let's install on the flip side here. When you're putting these together, when you go and assemble them onto the end corners, make sure that you've got that cross stabilizing strut mounted at the same height on both sides. That way it's going to be easy to connect those two pieces together, and it's going to hold that together in the absence of a true rigid bottom on these. All right, it's got our two sides attached. We're going to go ahead and put a center bolt and nut through that cross member. That's going to provide us our stability, and it should line up the other ends so we can attach that. Quick head count has told me that there is no extra nuts or bolts included in this. There's exactly enough for the number of holes here, which means I'm going to have to crawl down under this table and find where that one that I dropped in the window went. All right, let's see if we can't find out where that went. Aha! There you are. Yep, definitely going to need that. All right, let's quickly tighten up all these connections that we've made. And last but not least, tighten up that center strut, and that's it for assembly. All right, so that's it from start to finish. About 20 minutes from unpacking to getting that all assembled there. Not bad for a time from out of the box to ready to go outside into the future herb garden and be filled with earth. Again, comes with a little set of hand tools. Don't know about the long-term durability, but like I said, there's something we'll definitely use. Comes with a set of plant markers. That was what we can always use around here. Small pair of gloves that I'll probably give to the kids. And then we did cheat, replacing the assembly tool provided with just a couple simple tools to make it go a little bit faster. But all in all, I gotta say, for $34, I am quite happy with this one that we have. See all of it there. Now the one true test I'm going to do here is grab out the tape measure and see if it actually is the dimensions as advertised. But it looks like it's awfully darn close. All right, one last detail. So long ways, we're looking at 48.5 inches. Across the center, we're right at 23.25. And height-wise, we're right at 1 foot. So, yep, as advertised, that's a 4 foot by 2 foot bed, 1 foot of depth. Looks like it's going to hold up fairly well. It's nice and solid, good and rigid. Again, having not used a Vigo bed before, I can't comment on how it compares to a Vigo bed. I can say that the metal feels like it's about the same gauge as one from Target. I do think that they're going to work for us out there. We're going to have several raised beds for that herb garden. We want it to be both beautiful and practical, but having those fresh herbs right outside the front door is definitely going to help with the summer kitchen and what we're whipping up in the kitchen for dinner here on the homestead. So, hope you enjoyed watching this quick video. Definitely look into these if this is something that you think you might want to do. Again, the brand that we went with was Prem Kid Galvanized Raised Beds. We got them on Amazon, and I will make sure that we give you what the current price is now. I know that when we took advantage of this offer, they were $34.99 each. So, yeah, kind of happy with what we ended up here. All right, Farm Fam, thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed watching this, and let us know what you're up to on your homesteads, and share your comments with us. Thanks. Take care. Well, looks like the promotional period is over. These are now $49.99 on Amazon, but that is where we source the beds through.